The river name became very popular in during the Mahabharata, the Pandava period, etc. Even in Ramayana, the river name Iravati is not there, but the region name Airavata is there. So that kind of terms are found in the Ramayana. So there is that particular transformation happened very slowly from the late Ṛgvedic period to the Rama era to the Pandava era, like that. So these transformations are very natural. So as I said, Indra riding chariot driven by horses transformed into an Indra riding a elephant, a white elephant with 4 tusks, etc. So this is here actually I want, because some people these are the pitfalls of dating the Mahabharata, Ramayana, Ṛgveda with some random information without evaluating when that information originated. For example, the Airavata concept is not there in Ṛgveda, but a lot of people who try to date the Mahabharata, Ramayana, or Ṛgveda, date some ancient Puranic narrative. They say, no, Airavata 4 tusks, so it should be the several million years. So there are some elephants with the 4 tusks. So these people lived in that period. Even that time, human species also not there. Human species, Homo sapiens species was originated like 150 lakh years ago. Before that, there were a lot of humanoids, but there are no Homo sapiens, which we are belonging to that Homo sapiens species. So these elephants, 4 tusked elephants, are very, very far in the past. And this is all poetic imagination. See, they might have seen some fossils of the 4 tusked elephants. It's also possible, because just like we are seeing in the 20th century, 21st century, we see some fossils. Similarly, in the period of Ṛgveda, Mahabharata, Ramayana period, Mahabharata period, they also can dig the surface, like dig the soil like us. If they dig for some 50 meters or even 10-20 meters into the earth surface, they will see similar kind of fossils of 4 tusked elephants, etc., which were roaming around Earth in millions of years ago. So those information will reach the poets, and they will start writing poetry based on that. See, that is how the concept of 4 tusked elephant, etc., they are found in the Puranas. But they are all very late, not because if they are very ancient, then you have to, first of all, if there are these 4 tusked elephants are there when our civilization was emerging and growing, if we had 4 tusked elephant, that should be recorded in the Ṛgveda. But in Ṛgveda, there is nothing like that. There it is mentioned Indra is like traveling in a horse-driven chariot, and the color of horse also mentioned. So they are very keen to details, because they even mentioned the color of the horse. But they are not saying that Indra is traveling in an elephant with 4 tusks and white color or anything. So these are all poetic imagination. Probably some fossils might have helped the poets to imagine like that. So that is about, and similarly you have Varuna. See, Varuna is very very popular like Indra, right? So between Indra and Varuna, there is a lot of interesting facts, because Indra is mentioned as the king of yoga, and Varuna is mentioned as king of Kshema. So you might have heard, like for example, in Bhagavad Gita, there is a song, like a verse called Yoga Kshemam Mahamyaham. So there are 2 dvanda, like 2 words, Kshema. So, yoga, national yoga. It's a yoga government. A very ancient meaning. Yoga basically means union. So that is why the words which are connected with the yoga, the root word yuj, the root word of yoga, the yuj, that is like it represents the joining of or connecting together. So for example, when the horse is connected to the chariot, it is called, so for example, the horse of Indra, Hari, that is connected to the chariot, ready for travel. So when you are ready for travel, you connect the chariot, the horse to the chariot. So that is called Hari Yojana. So the Yojana word means it's like joined together. And Yuga, for example, Yuga is again derived from Yuj. So it's a joining together of two celestial. For example, because and Jupiter joins nakshatra. Again, it is for example, in 12 years, the Jupiter will sign nakshatra will be considered as a 12 yuga. And once in Jupiter come together, it's one of, and that is your yuga. Years Saturn and Jupiter in the same nakshatra. So yuga, yoga are very much here in the yoga, war and peace. Let us say, because armies battle take like so leader of the king of war, Varun peace. How it is happened is Veda, like you and the ruler, stationary and like the ruler, he will everything. Yes, that doesn't go for war. He city ruling the he is called king of the king of yoga, like to go in the outskirts of the city and expand the kingdom by having battles. That is why he is called king of yoga or king of war. So there is a dual kingship concept that is very prominent in Ṛgveda. So that is why Indra is the king of yoga and king of Shema. Indra is the king of expansion of the territory. And Varuna is the king of Shama. His primary purpose in the capital justice. Like that is why. And Varuna is also associated with the Rita is basically the cosmic laws. So the Ṛgvedic people consider that everything is see that is orange. Entire universe. Vedic people have used the word basically the scientific laws. That is Rita. Part of the Rita, that is Rita is what make all the planets revolve around move properly along the nakshatras. That is because of Rita. Everything moves in perfect order. All the after rain in so predicted every year. So this is mentioned person response. So part of the society rules from Varuna. Varuna is a concept is matured a little more concept, and the Ṛgveda there is a concept is there, but it is difficult in the to hold together dharmas. But it supports everything that is on top of Earth. So similar is a function of dharma which supports, but Earth support all the plants, animals or mountains, everything on the surface of Earth. Dharma supports civilization, culture, tradition, etc., and the rightful way of living. That is dharma. So the concept of dharma emerges from Rita, and the Rita is governed by Varuna, actually. And Varuna is king of Kshema, and Indra is king of Yoga. And of course, you can now recognize the transformation happened like in the later in the Ṛgvedic period. Varuna, that is how in Ramayana, for example, Varuna is mentioned as the king of oceans, and Indra is mentioned as king of rains. So this, the Varuna is mentioned as the devata of oceans, and Indra is mentioned as the devata of rains. So these transformations happened, and towards the late Rigveda, slowly this kind of small morphology or small transformation of Indra and Varuna, like they are understood in the Itihasa Puranas, you can see slightly in the late Rigvedic period. Varuna, how it is, because Indra was originally like the controller of all the rivers. He was in the right from the birth, he is associated with the rivers. He was mentioned as conversing with the rivers. Parushni river was his favorite river, the Ravi river, where he used to bath the Parushni river. And seeing Indra bathing in the Parushni river, the Maruts also bath in the Parushni river. So all these things are very beautifully mentioned in the Rigveda. But later on, there was, for example, all the rivers flow into the ocean, and slowly Varuna was associated with the ocean, the southern ocean. That when you say southern ocean, basically it's not the ocean around Kanyakumari, but the ocean in Gujarat, around Gujarat peninsula region. So that is where Saraswati and Sindhu have become of is in Karachi. Is a city on the shore of the Southern Ocean. These are all, this particular worship of Varuna in this Karachi region started in somewhere in the late Ṛgvedic and region. We have the worship of Vishnu also become very prominent, because Krishna is mentioned as the most prominent avatar of Vishnu. So we have Vishnu worship in the Samudra, and Varuna worship in the Samudra, like one in Gujarat and another one in Karachi, in the same adjacent to the Gujarat in Karachi. And later on, the concept of Samudra Narayana, wherein Vishnu and Varuna fuse together to be considered a single god, the Samudra Narayana. And this is also why Vishnu is always mentioned in the Puranas as residing in an ocean, the Milky Ocean, etc. Because Indra Vishnu was mentioned as god residing is the god together, and this happened in the Gujarat Karachi area. We have the Samudra Narayana temple in there. And then you have Ashwins, who are like very prominent. Like Ashwins are the twin gods. They are considered as, even in the Rigveda, they are considered as helping the. They are like Vaidyas. They help a lot of people. So large number of people are helped by Ashwins. That's mentioned. So the Ashwins are predominantly related to helping people and curing people. And see, even Maruts also are mentioned as bringers of medicine. And when I say this, something might have ringing in your head. Maruti is a Hanumat, is mentioned in Ramayana as bringing medicine. So these are all like connected with Ṛgveda actually, because Maruts are considered as bringers of medicine. In the Ramayana, the Maruts are represented by Maruti, that is Hanuman. And because of that, Hanuman is mentioned as bringing medicine for Lakshmana, Rama, like that. So similarly, Ashwins also, like, so not just medicine, but all kinds of helps Ashwins are providing. And Mitra is considered, she is always associated with Varuna. So definitely you can say Mitra is a friend of Varuna. Like Mitra means in Malayalam or in many languages, in all the Indian languages, Mitra means friend. So basically Mitra is a friend of Varuna actually. That is, and he is also governing all the friendships, contracts, etc. Like that. And then Ushas is a goddess that we have in the Ṛgvedic goddess Ushas, and she is represent the dawn, like dawn, and of course, she is also connected with the Venus, which is a planet which seen in the morning and the evening, and so Ushas is kind of associated with the dawn, and also with the star Venus, Shukra, like that. And Martanda or Surya, Vivasvat, all these are different aspects of sun god. That is, you can see in the Rigveda. Prithvi is like the goddess of earth, and Savitar is there. So that Gayatri mantra, that is actually addressed to Savitar, who is actually impeller, or he's an Aditya, like this Mitra, Varuna, like that. Savitar is basically, you can say, kind of a generic aspects of a sun. So it's not just sun, but maybe any kind of entity similar to sun. So that means all the stars in the galaxy can be like considered as represented by Savitar, because and he is the energizer way of energy, which is like the life force that activate or animate. Savitar is the activator of the intelligence, and that is the meaning of that Gayatri. Sat Savitur Varanyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. So they are like that. So because Savitar is mentioned, considered as the energizer of the intellect, and that is why the Vishwamitra is praying to Savitar intellect, etc. Similarly, the Rudra is there, mapped into the Idihasa Purana as Mahadev. Aditi is so total seen with the Aditya. And Aditya's Savitar. Like Bhaga, like that. And Indra were not earlier considered in the well. Then Indra and Vishnu are added as Adityas, then Bhushan, the protector of the roads. All these devatas are added. And now I have already mentioned. So Vishnu is also mentioned as Shipi Vista. Then you have other Bhaga is there. Bhaga is basically the distributor of wealth, actually. So, or Amsha is a distributor of wealth. Another Aditya. Bhaga is again related to Bhagya, and then a part of the distribution, etc. That is the kind of terminology that is used. And Yama, he is not considered as perfectly a devata, but as a first mortal, and he is the first person. He is considered have the goddess aspect is speech mentioned as is a set of Nakta, night, Parjanya. A group of devatas are called Vasu, like similar to Maruts. Angirasas I mentioned in the previous talk, group of divine singers. Then a goddess Surya, and Urjani, like that. Sun goddess also is part of our Ṛgvedic pantheon of gods. Krishni, that is mother of Ashwin, I said Rudra birth the Maruts, mother of Marut. Okay, this is Ashwin's image. Yeah. Prishni is there. Okay, Prishni is the mother of Ashwin. So, but Maruts are the son of Rudra. Actually. Then you have another deified group, Navagvas, then the Gandharvas, also considered as deified, actually. Well, again, but they are mentioned as normal human beings in the Idihasa Puranas as the Gandharas. Then you have Manu, Brahmanaspati, that is a god of inspired poetry. Then So many are there. Then Ila is again the ancestress of the lineage. She is deified. Indrani, wife of Indra. There are three. So there are certain gods who are in the some slightly negative. Then Rishakapi is a friend of Indra and Indrani. Ahibuddhinya, a snake god, and then Bharati Mahi, the goddesses, part of the Aprisutta, Dashagwas, like Vishwakarma and Ratri, Ajayakapat. So this Ajayakapat is considered as in the counted in the list of 11 Rudras in the Itihasa Puranas. So he is an aspect of Shiva, and many like my inference is that Ajayakapat can also be considered as that one aspect of Shiva Linga itself, like because it's mentioned as he's mentioned as single-legged and unborn. Then Saraswati is there, like rain clouds that fleeing like feeding Saraswati, because Saraswati was clearly a rain-fed river. That is why Saraswati, no other river have this kind of rain. The rivers are snow. All the other rivers are snow-fed rivers, where the Indra removed the frost. But Saraswati is not like that. She is a rain-fed river. Then so many, and there are Purusha, Devatas came in the 10th. Then moon god Chandrama, Danu, that is the Danavas are Danu. The Puranas, Danu of Kashyapa, she is a and now ritual itself, Potra, Prajapati, Vata is another aspect of air, Apam Napat, that is a kind of underwater fire, the volcanic fire, that is Apam Napat. And the planet Neptune is actually like that term Neptune in Greek emerged from the Apam Napat. You know that one. Then Sharanyu is their wife of Vivasvat. Then Varutri is a guardian goddess, Vishwarupa, son of the Twashtar. Then Brihat Diva, the mother goddess. And this is having some connection with the Sumerian Brihat Diva, because Sumerian have a lot of mother goddesses actually. Very rare connections like that. Then Raka is a full moon goddess. Sinivali is the like moon before the new moon. And Varunani, wife of Varuna, Aryanani, the forest goddess, Aranyani. Then Amsha, there is another Aditya I mentioned, and Amsha is another. And then there are malefic spirits also. Charuta and Sadhya, there is, they are the divine people, like also mentioned in the Itihasa Puranas. Puramdi, their plenitude, and Ritugrahas, Ritudevatas, related to the Ritu, that is seasons. Then Diti is there, another wife of Kashyapa, but she is mentioned as a goddess in the Ṛgveda and the mother of Daityas. Then Agnai, then wife of Agni, then Anushandi. Gumbu is a new moon goddess. There are goddesses related to moon. Then Parameshtin, the 10th mandala, Hiranyagarbha and Parameshtin. These are all philosophically originated gods in the 10th mandala. Hiranyagarbha, Parameshtin, like that. Sadasapati is the god of the ritual space, the seat of ritual space. And Trayambaka, right, 10th mandala god, and becomes synonym of Shiva. Then Viraj, then Saptadanu, like again the 7 Danus, the 7 rivers, Sapta Sindhu, but in another form, 7. Danu also means river. Saptadanu means Sapta Sindhu, the 7 rivers in the Punjab. Then Apua, that is a water goddess. Dhi is the inside. Then Dhishana is a Dishana, that is a malefic goddess actually. Then Kushava is their Ilbert. And Narasamsi is the goddess of praise. And Sadanva is a malefic goddess actually. So there is a lot of god worship and goddess worship. Diva, people kind of.
Sir, I have one, as usual, I have one question. One is about, we have the Vashishta, who is known as the son of Varun, Mitra and Varun. Is that right, sir? And Agastya is supposedly the brother of Vashishta.
Yes. In the Rig Veda, also the Agastya and Vasishtha, the most ancient Agastya and Vasishtha is considered as brothers and born from Urvashi. So Urvashi as mother connection is very much there in the Rig Veda. Mitra and Varuna, they are not mentioned as a father of Agastya or Vasishtha, but Vasishtha and Agastya, they have Mitra and Varuna as their primary gods. So this is a case of the primary devatas and transformed as their parents. So
Sir,
it is
but
also
isn't it true that then Vashishta is known as Mitra Varuni, Vashishta Mitra Varuni in
correct.
Rigved?
Correct.
So then he would be an offspring of them only.
No, it's something like that. See, if I am a devotee of Krishna, so I can say Krishna is my God, but can I say Krishna is my father? So something like that. So, but then what happens is that Mitra Varuna are the primary gods of Vasishta, and of course his brother Agastya also. So they are very much called as Mitra Varuni, but not in the originally it was not in the sense of that they are the children of Mitra and Varun. But in later poets, uh, narrative, the poetic narrative that Mitra and Varuna had a intercourse with Urvashi, and from Urvashi, Vasishtha and Agastya are born. To be considered as a poet, it is Vasishtha and Agastya were Mitra and Varuna, and they died with Urvashi because Urvashi figure. Even in the earlier, was very ancient period. Is in whatever or Itihasa says that he is the mother and Agastya. So anyway, I mean, if or I would say, Urvashi, like and Agastya like that. So when I say Urvashi, it means Apsara who are like your Apsaras, Apsara class were like traced into the Gandharva region, like that is the Gandhara and the region between this Charasadda Valley and the Kashmir Valley. So that is where the Gandharvas and Apsaras are found. So they basically the indirect hint, geographical hint is that the Vasishtha and Agastya have their origin in that. Their maternal origin is in that region. That's what it means.
Okay, so just one more. That we see that in the earlier mandalas also there is a lot of mention about Brihaspati is a god. Now, wasn't Brihaspati is a clan? So how is it being termed as god, and not just by the Vashishta clan, but even the Vishwamitra clan? So even the opposition terms Brihaspati as the god.
Brihaspati is mentioned as part of the Angirasa lineage, not in Vasishtha or Agastya. And see the most ancient Brihaspati in the earliest reference of Brihaspati, he is mentioned as an aspect of Indra itself. So, for example, that is I mentioned in my book. So earlier, there is a concept of the priesthood and kingship both in the same person. So the Indra was the king, and the priestly aspect of Indra is considered as Brihaspati. And later on, the king and priest become two different occupations. So you have a king, and another person will be the priest. And then towards in the late Ṛgvedic period, Brihaspati was considered as the so the it is like that. But if you look in the Harappan like iconography, there is we can see some of the very famous Harappan seal. They have depicted the priest king. Both the function became a concept about Ani's and they mostly, but in the Brihaspati as a separate person other than Indra. They're saying that Indra is going to send Brihaspati to scare the Panis like that. So that means that function is separated. The king is separate, the priest is separate. So the king is sending the priest as a warning to the enemy tribes. That is the Panis who are in that Kashmir Ladakh region. Transformation has happened in the Ṛgveda.
So, sir, are you saying that basically Brahaspati and Indra are the same? They mean the same thing. I mean, even in the earlier times of the Ṛgveda.
In there are suktas where the references are like that, wherein Brihaspati is used just as a synonym of Indra. But in the same Ṛgveda, in the late Ṛgvedic period, 10th mandala, Indra and Brihaspati are considered as separate individuals. Indra is the king, Brihaspati is the priest. Like that.
That was when I was reading even others worshipping the Angiras. That is why. Right. Yes. Take more time. Miss the first. So, sir, find it. Where is it? See it.
Suvarji, because for recorded into YouTube, I would ask him the WhatsApp. So this recording, today's recording, I'll on YouTube.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and subsequently, I think we have now completed one module. The 5 chapters or 5 sessions combined. It is the kind of a foundational module. So maybe in the next week we can have some kind of a assignment or some kind of questions, etc., where you can just refresh whatever you have learned. It's only for refreshing and to understand like your grasp. It will be like questions about now which is the oldest mandala, which is the youngest mandala. All that kind of a questions, etc., will be like we can put in related to the 5 chapters. Any other questions?
So there's one question in your chat, sir. Somebody has asked. I just saw.
Yes. Once you can explain relationship among Aditi, Indra, and Krishna. Yeah. So the maybe it may be a little confusing because Ṛgveda is very very delicate in giving any kind of proper relationships between individuals. So if anybody read Idihasa Puranas, it is very clear, ambiguously mentioned as Indra is a son of Aditi, right? But in the Ṛgveda, that kind of direct statements, yeah, there are none of there is any direct statement like that. And in Ṛgveda there is a concept of Adityas, 7 Adityas. In that list also Indra is not there. So that means we have to infer that Indra as a son of Aditi emerged as a later evolution of the tradition. And wherever the Indra's mother is mentioned, she is mentioned without any name. But she is indicated as a kind of a consort of Twashtar. So that is the kind of relationship between Indra and Twashtar in the Ṛgveda. So Twashtar is actually the celestial architect or the architect.
So then how does Kashyap come in the picture then?
Yeah. So what I like when because I have already written the geography Ramayana book, geography of Ramayana, and now writing the book on the geography of Mahabharata. From which I understood is the role of Twashtar was transposed to Kashyapa. So, for example, in the Ṛgveda, most of the wives of the devatas, the Twashtar is mentioned as the father of those many of the devatas, not just one, so many devatas. Have a kind of a parental role in the Ṛgveda as a either father-in-law or father of many of the same kind of the aspect. Now you can see in Kashyapa in the Idihasa Puranas. So Kashyapa, that transformation happened later. So in the Idihasa Puranas, including Devatas, Asuras, Daityas, Danavas, Manava, everybody is emerging from Kashyapa. But that is the transformation that happened in the after the late Ṛgvedic period. But in the Ṛgvedic period, Kashyapa is not mentioned like that. Kashyapa is just one of the many composers of the. He is not given any status as a father of any devatas or anything. So that came later. And primarily, if you look at the Rigveda, that kind of a role only Twashter is having. And Twashter is the architect. And he represents, as far as I am concerned, Twashter represents the Indus Valley civilization. And that is how I connect the Rigveda with the Indus Valley civilization. So again, one more thing I will reiterate: the Aryan invasion theory make the Indra as an inverter, the Central Asian inverter, like from Russia coming into India. That is how the Aryan invasion theory make Indra. But when my Indra is the child, Indra is the son of Indus Valley civilization, because Twashter represents the Indus Valley civilization, where he represents all the construction, all the architecture, everything. Twashter is the representative of Indus Valley civilization, and Indra is basically the son of Twashter. Means he is the son of Indus Valley civilization. That is the kind of inference that we can get. So I think the question is clear, right? Twashter, Aditi, and Indra.
Yes, sir.
Can we conclude?
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you for the class and wonderful interaction. So, as sir said, I can forward the instructions for the exam, not exam, the like quiz or whatever. I can forward the instructions from sir to your group. So yeah, let us conclude by chanting mantras. Thank you. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namah. Hari Om.